Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with the 17th layout using the April Scraptastic kit. This is the 17th layout using this kit. It took me 38 minutes to complete. It was a really quick layout and literally, scraps. Even the next layout, I get one more layout done with this kit, and it's mainly die cuts, and I use Project Life cards. So I just took a punch, a hexagon punch from Stampin' Up, and I just punched out as many pattern papers that I could. I knew I didn't want to fill the whole page out. I've done that many times. I just wanted a different design on this one. And basically what I did was, this is a picture of my daughter and her cheerleading. And it was during a competition, and a lot of times they, not a lot, well, yeah, a lot of times they lift people up and they do, pyramids and all this stuff. So the triangles, the hexagons being put in a pyramid, that's sort of what it kind of represents for me, is the, the stunts that they do and all this stuff. And I really love the papers in this collection or this kit and how it looked with each other. And sometimes, you can make a lot of pages using a kit with, these 2 or 3 pattern papers together and these 2 or 3 together. And, as a whole, you can make, over 20 layouts. And again, using kits, what I find is I come up with combination that I probably wouldn't have put together otherwise. So I really like that. But I find sometimes to try to put a whole bunch of different pattern papers on one layout, I really don't like the way they look together. But this time around, I really, really liked all the a lot of the pattern papers, and I found they went well together. There was no clashing, either I could use the A side or the B side, and I really liked how it looked. So I just took one of the tealish or bluish, tealish, no, more blue. Let me see, there's a name on it. It's called Rain, and it's basil paper. And I just used that as my background because I found it went well with a lot of the pattern papers that came in the kit. And now I'm just going to mount, this is a 5x7 photo, and I'm just going to mount it on some black so there's, pop. It's going to pop right off the page. And the page is kind of busy, and I find when I use like a lot of pattern papers like that, like I'm at the end of my kit and I either do stripes or circles or triangles or squares or whatever the case may be, I find I kind of go easy on the embellishment because the other stuff takes away your attention so much that just a few little clusters with a little bit of things, I find that's good enough for me. So I added a doily to the top right. Then those little tickets that I cut out from that sheet of pattern paper, I used that on the top. And then I cut out a camera that came from a crate paper, pattern paper. And then there was a little sticker that said, remember this. The bottom left, I'm going to do a little cluster there. And again, with just a couple of tickets, there was a sticker that was a clock. And I thought it was perfect for this because everything is timed. They count out everything. And then to the bottom right of the photo. So basically I contain the clusters right around the photo. The bottom right, I just put a little tab or tag with a little star, and then another triangle that says beautiful you, a puffy heart, one of those cameras again that I cut out, a couple of tickets, and then there was a little pixie stick thing that said you are great, and it was a typewriter, and I thought, whatever, it still says you are great, so I just wanted to use it, so I'm going to use it on this layout. So now I'm ready to sort of build the layers. And I just got a whole bunch of photos developed in the last, I don't know, it was 2 weeks ago or something. And I got a whole bunch of them, probably 15, 5x7 printed. So I want to make sure that I, scrap them. I'm on a kick now that I want to scrap new photos. I did almost 2 months of, really older photos. So now I'm anxious to scrap some newer stuff. So this was her competition in April. We drove to Niagara Falls, which is in Ontario, Canada, and it's about 18, 19 hours drive from where we are. And so we went, the whole family, like my son, my husband, and my daughter and her boyfriend. We drove to Ontario and went to the competition. So that was a lot of fun. So I'm just building on those layers. And they did pretty good at this competition. In their level, there was 16 teams, and they finished 4th, which if they would have competed like they did their last competition, they would have made much better than that. They would have been fighting for first. The last competition, they blew everybody out of the water. They did awesome, and they won first place. It was their best competition all year. And it was kind of nice because my daughter's retired. She retired. She's still going to coach, more than likely, but she's just not going to be, she's going to be 21 years old. She's been doing it, for, I don't know, 7, 8 years. And I always joke and not that if you'd go to the hospital and ask for x-rays, they'd be able to put her body back together using x-rays. That's how many times she's been injured, including one time they thought that she had a C3 fracture, which that would be devastating. That's paralyzed from the neck down. So as a mom, I mean, I love the sports and everything, but she's in the picture, she's the one in the very front. So she's the one that they throw around, and she landed on the floor a few times. And so as a mom, I supported her, when they thought she had the C3 fracture. The doctor told her she should retire. And this few months ago, they discovered that she now has scoliosis, which can be caused by extreme trauma. And so I told her, I said, you don't want to be 30 and not be able to move. So she decided anyway that she was going to retire. So it was nice that they won first place their last competition. So at this point, I just added some white Mr. Huey and some glimmer glaze in a nice teal. I'm going to dry it up because I think it's the time of year, but if I don't dry up my white Mr. Huey right now, 2 days later, it's still wet. Like literally, I can stick my finger in it and it's still has, it's still wet. So like I said, in my Killikit video, I didn't want to bring all those scraps of papers home because to me, I had enough to pack and I didn't want to pack anymore. So I'm just going to right now put all the scraps of paper right there, and I'm going to show you, there's not much left. The ones that are worth keeping, I just cut it apart. So this was a quick, fun layout, just using your scraps. It's a great way to kind of use up what's remaining without having to, throw out a bunch of papers. So that's it. The page is done. Thanks for watching. Bye.